So, let me start with a shocking sentence. In 30 years, somebody in this very room might have their brains directly connected to a software not controlled by somebody, but rather by something. It's not fantasy, it's the greatest ambition of today's biologists and programmers. But let's start from the beginning. What is the AI? The AI is a sort of science. It's not already a science, it is almost a real art that makes it possible for machines to learn and perform tasks just as humans do them. We have to do a little distinction before going on. The first distinction is that there are two kinds of the AI. There is a strong AI and a weak AI. The strong AI, as the word suggests it, is that it is extremely complex. It is extremely complex, and it is almost not existent because it is being studied in great universities, in secret projects. It's all true. And the closest example we have to the strong AI today are learning robots. I'm pretty sure many of you have heard of them. They learn every human behavior and try to emulate. Also, the strong AI is able to take decisions during a given situation. And another thing that the strong AI has is self-awareness. It knows it is a machine, and it knows it is programmed to do a certain job. On the other hand, we have weak AIs. Weak AIs are very limited AIs that are only trained to perform one or two tasks at a time. And they are not self-aware, they don't know they are robots, and they are not able to take any decision. We all have a phone today. We would never leave our home today without our phones or even our computers. It's almost unthinkable, even if we consider such a big city like Rome where things happen every day, and we always have to stay tuned to know if today there will be a train, if the bus is coming on time, and so on. It's almost impossible to say no to phones today. And in your pockets, in your phone, there are at least 100 different AIs. Here, this chart shows us the AIs that are actually in our phone. And the interesting thing is that we don't even actually know that there are so many. Another thing I say that this is the first step the AI has taken in our lives. The first step I can tell is complete because we cannot do anything with our phones today. And there is a second step. The second step is to enter our homes. They have entered our pockets. Now they, of course, logically want to enter in our homes. How do they do that? They are entering our homes under the shape of the so-called smart assistants, like Alexa, like Google Assistant, and so on. Of course, these assistants, these talking machines, are pretty much limited from the hardware point of view. They have a limited hardware, and this is a strategy many producers use to make you buy even more smart technologies, such as smart fridges, smart TVs, smart dishwashers, and I can go on for a long time because all these processes we give for granted are becoming automatic. This is the second step, and we might think that with this second step we are becoming superhumans because we might talk to our smart assistant and it will do all the job for us by controlling other smart furniture around our house. But it is the reverse. We are probably becoming subhumans. Why subhumans? Because we, by time, are starting to forget some very basic things we are used to do today that we do in our houses. We might forget how to cook one day because of the AI. We might forget how even to drive a car. In fact, a particular example is the smart car. The smart car is a jewel of technology. It is quite rare, but it is being sold more and more, even here in Italy. There are starting to appear around. What's the greatest feature, the most popular feature of smart cars? The greatest feature is that they can park themselves. Of course, that's an AI for you. That's an AI that is able to park your car. It calculates the distance for you. It calculates any other situation, and it parks your car. What would happen if one of you, or all of us, would buy a smart car today and keep using it for a very long time, always making it park itself? We would start forgetting how to park. And that's quite logical, because if we don't practice something, we start forgetting it. And this example I brought today is, I think, the most important to show what might wait us if we keep using the AI in even useless situations when we can do it ourselves. I like also comparing the AI to nuclear energy, but not because they are power sources, because they are very important discoveries that have changed and are still changing our lives. The nuclear energy has changed our lives in better, of course, because we can power up entire cities with just one nuclear plant. But if we start being ignorant, if we start underestimating this nuclear energy, if we start being neglected, disasters may occur. Think about Chernobyl, for example. Chernobyl didn't happen because nuclear energy is dangerous, is evil, but because the humans, in that case, haven't coped with it properly. So, the same, I think, can happen with the AI. We are giving it a huge power, and it is growing bigger and bigger day by day. And it also may, just as Chernobyl, as nuclear energy, led us to a catastrophe. Well, what's the main catastrophe you might imagine? Maybe a war? Well, it can happen, but experts say that it is the most far of all options related to the AI. It's the less likely catastrophe caused by the AI. Another more likely catastrophe might happen in the economical field. You know, today there are many banking systems, entire trade centers working only thanks to the AI. The AI is actually controlling them, controlling all those banks, all those screens with all those numbers that appear every second. That's all the job of an AI, or many AIs. We don't know, or many people don't know, that actually the AI is not flawless. It can be, it can happen that a bug might occur. A bug is not an insect. It's a sort of error that might present itself if the program is not well made. Of course, this is another remote possibility, is quite improbable, but some people have made some suppositions that a bug might be covered by the apparent work of the AI. The AI might be working correctly at our eyes, but the bug might have already occurred and it is quickly escalating. So we won't even understand it in a short term. But what is the most likely catastrophe that the AI can lead us into? The most possible catastrophe is the job catastrophe. The AI, we are all used to see it as that robotic arm that works in factories, that lifts heavy things, that puts together entire cars, and so on. We are used to think that it is able to do very difficult but not intellectual jobs. This is, of course, a positive aspect because humans aren't able to lift very heavy things without help. But the worrisome thing is that the AI is also able to replace, by 2030, it will be able to replace the 50% of European jobs because it is quickly adapting to us, to our intellect, and it's able to do most of our jobs today, even in the so-called the third sector, the sector of services. Here is another chart that shows us all the kind of jobs it can actually do, it can replace, and it's quite worrisome. But as I said, the problem is not the AI itself, because the AI is a tool and it's pretty natural that it is growing day by day, stronger and stronger. The problem are us, people. In this case, governments, companies, and employers, because having an AI instead of a human worker is quite convenient, because an AI has no need to rest, it doesn't need any salary, and it's quite cheap to repair if it breaks down. So, the AI is becoming better than us, but somebody has already started to move the first steps towards our help, towards human workers. This is the European Union. The European Union has expressed its thoughts about the AI taking our jobs, but it's a very long work, and they're still working on it, of policies, of laws that may let it be impossible for employers to replace all their human workers with machines. Well, this happens in Europe. But what about the other countries of the world? The other countries of the world might have different thoughts. They might take all their workers, human workers, away and replace them with the AI. And that would cause a real crisis. Why? Because many people will be, of course, unemployed. And unemployment is the main cause of all the crises, economical crises, because there will be no purchase of goods, and if the markets don't sell goods, they will start falling apart, they will start losing money, and the economies, one after one, will start crumbling down. So, one thing we can actually try to do, we personally, we aren't actually doing anything, but one thing we can try to do for our part, is not let them inside our lives like this. We are used to wipe the floor, to do the washing, clean dishes, cooking, and all of this. This might even save us, because it is always has been the main trait of our human construct of our civility. There is always something to do in our homes that we should do and not let the AI do. Because the biggest catastrophe can happen to us personally when we will let start the AI doing everything for us, and the AI will not be the one who will become a human, but rather we will start becoming AIs ourselves. So this is my point of today. Let us be more conscious about this. Let's ask ourselves questions about this. Is it worth it? Is it worth to prefer an AI to do something such easy as cleaning the dishes or cooking? Do we really want an AI to cook for us, to give all this stuff, which will be also good, but it won't be prepared by a human? So let us prefer human contact instead of the AI. That's the most important thing we can do, and I believe this will help governments and employers and the bigger, most important people to understand that there is a limit to everything and even to the AI. Thank you.